So welcome everyone to the Young Gun Start, and you will appear here on this wharf with this ship. This ship right in front of you with the Leonardo da Vinci drawing on the side of it is your ship. First thing I'll do is cover the menus so that you'll have a one-stop shop to see information. If you're thinking, well, crap, where do I see the people that I've hired? You can come straight to this video. So we will open the menu by pressing the M key. So in the M key, the first thing that comes up is this category here with the map. You can reach the other categories up top just by clicking. So the first upper left is the object list. This is everything that you currently have visibility of. So we can see the stations here, the Argon equipment dock, which is the very thing that we are standing on. Other ships. We have the Antigone agricultural trader. If you left click on each one, it will highlight them. And then we have the Argon, and this is dynamic. As you scroll out, you can see everything in your range, and this list populates. If you see a plus sign to the next of it, this is a squad, and you can see how many ships are in this particular squad. We have 1 medium ship and 4 small ships. Right here, this group, the Argon fighter squad moving through. So you can click the pluses to open up these categories. These are stations, so you can see what defense modules do they have, what docking modules do they have. Not really important, but just know that it is there. If you wanted to filter this, that is this top category here. So this is everything in your sensor range. As a person, you can see this much space. Every ship has their own sensor range, so if you are really zoomed out and you have a bunch of ships running around the universe, this list will fill up really, really full because every ship will be telling you what they see. Categories, stations and subordinates, if you want to filter just by what stations do I see. Ships, what ships do I see? And deployable. So we have a scale plate laser tower actually right here that was destroyed by the Argon. The scale plate are a group of pirates, so we can see the gray husk, essentially, of where that laser tower was. Going down to the next category is property owned. This is, I only want to see stuff that belongs to me, and as of right now, with the Young Gun, we only have the Elite Vanguard, which is highlighted right here, the ship that we are standing next to. This red exclamation mark is sort of a high priority mission, acquire a captain. The game is recommending that we find someone who can pilot this ship while we are not piloting it, which is very, very handy. The next tab is mission offers. As you fly next to stations, oh, hello. As you fly next to stations, things will pop up. These will be randomly generated missions based on the needs of that faction. So right now, the internal espionage, the Argon, want to deploy one satellite at a location. They will pay you 34,700 credits. Difficulty. I would not pay any attention to the difficulty rating because I've seen missions that were rated as easy or medium that requires you to fly right next to a very hostile station with hundreds of laser turrets and, put satellites down. That's pretty tough if all you have is one small scout ship like we do. So don't pay any attention to difficulty. Just look at what it wants you to do and then determine yourself. Is it worth it for the cash, and can you even do it? The next tab is your mission manager. These are your active quests. If you have accepted any quests or any story missions, will pop up in here as well. And the next tab is upkeep missions. So they are not given by anyone, but we can see that our Elite Vanguard, our ship here, says, hey, I really need a captain. Things like if you have a station and they need money, that sort of thing will appear in this category. And guidance. If you ever set guidance to something, it will appear here. So if you set your own personal waypoint. Information. What you have selected will change what information you see. So if you left click on this Argon equipment dock and go to its information, we can see its location. If we scanned it, we can see how much hull it has, and this works for small ships as well. A fighter, what does it have in its cargo bay? How many hit points does it have? How much shielding does it have? Crew, who all is on board that ship. And of course, we haven't scanned it yet, so we don't know anything about it. Loadout. Once again, once we scan it, we can learn, hey, what engines does it have on it? What weapons does it have on it? That sort of thing. And its logbook. So if it has made any trades that we know of, they will appear here. That's pretty handy for your own traders. When you look at its logbook, it will say how much it bought goods for and where it delivered them to, and for how much. The next tab is behavior. This is for your own ships. Once you have a pilot on board, you can give it orders to do without you and individual instructions. So if you have very specific things that you want this specific fighter to do different than your global settings, and we'll get into global settings later, you can change those here. Manage plots. This is how you build stations. We will get into that in a later episode, but when you click on that, you can see that Argonne have claimed these squares of space, and the gates have also claimed these squares of space. You cannot build a station in these areas, but everything else in open space is fair game, but you'll have to pay a fee, and we will once again cover that once we get into station building. So the next tab we are going to look at is up here in the map, the player information. So if you don't want to be Valsettan, you can backspace all that up and say, awesome dude, or whatever you want to do. Organization name. This is the name of your space company, whatever you want to call. You can say like Acquisitions Inc. or something like that. That is completely up to you. If you want to change your logo, this is that Leonardo da Vinci symbol. But hey, we can change whatever you want. Put any of these logos on there. And we also have custom logos available. And the PNG will allow sort of channels so that, you know, it's not a solid block that only the letters SAK go through. So you can see that that is reflected there on the ship. Default ship skins. There are several colors that you can sort of paint all of your ships at. It's up to you what color scheme fits your fancy. As far as wealth goes, this is the combined total of all of your ships, all of your stations, everything in your inventory, and how much liquid cash you have, and total cash in station credits for your total net worth. So the next block is personnel. This is the number of hired personnel you have across your entire company. That is pilots, managers, Marines, ship traders, everybody that works for you. Their number will be here and their average skill will be here. Police authority is once you start claiming your own sectors, how much authority you have, not really something to keep too much of a track on. The next tab, factions and relations. These are the different people that we know about, and every start will have their own group of factions that they know about with their different attitudes towards you. So the one thing that does change between starts is this faction relation. As long as it's not -30, you can increase that reputation. So the Holy Order of the Pontifex at -15, we can see the effects of being negative. You are not allowed to dock ships and stations belonging to this faction, but they will not target our army or our navy, and they will not try to destroy our stations. So it's a live and let live sort of policy, but we can boost that up to positive numbers and eventually earn the right to dock and to get their license and whatnot. We are best with the Antigone and the Argonne as we are an Argonne. So we have the general equipment license, the Federation module license, and the generic use license that comes for free with our start. Once we get to +10, we become a friend of the Federation and unlock all of these things like police licenses, military ship licenses, module licenses. We can buy more things from the Argonne. And then once we get 20 rep, we get the capital ships. We can buy carriers from them. We can buy big destroyers from them. We can buy advanced modules, the things that can get us a lot of money. And then the trade offer subscription will allow us to see what prices this faction is offering everything at every station galaxy-wide. So pretty handy. You'll make that 10 million credits back pretty quick once your traders know exactly what the best buying and selling opportunities are. Statistics is just for how many things have I destroyed, how many you know, shield mods, and just a bunch of basic, like, how am I doing, what have I done in the universe sort of categories. The next is inventory. So there is ship cargo. That's things like energy cells or, you know, trade goods, things that can be bought and sold on a station. That is not this inventory. This inventory are things like these cargo crates, which if I look at the laser tower down here, crap, it's gone. But sometimes you will see little crates, little gray crates. Those are free for the taking. You can go over there, pull those into your ship, and they're not trade goods, so they will appear in your inventory here. These are components and crafting materials, as well as crystals that you can sell. And that is sold at local traders here. At any station, there's usually a trade hub, and any inventory items can be sold there. Modifications. If you have collected modifications to apply at a wharf for small and medium ships or at shipyards for large and XL ships, they go here. So your ships can be amplified based on the quality of these modifications. So if you want your lasers to shoot or hit twice as hard and cool twice as quick, that sort of thing. If you want your engines to spool up twice as quick or vault you twice as fast, those will be here in the modifications. Spacesuits. So yes, there is EVA. You can get out of your ship at any time and float around in space. Right now we have a repair laser, which is used to repair anything from a small craft like this up to a carrier. Just keep in mind, if your carrier is down to 2% and you try to use a repair laser, you're going to be repairing it for hours. Literally just letting the space bar go. It's free. You can do it forever. But yeah, it's not conducive to time versus cost. Your spacesuit scanner allows you to scan things on stations as you fly by. You can buy things like bomb launchers for your spacesuit if you wanted to do EMP bombs or place mines on the hull of an enemy carrier that hasn't shot you yet. If you're that kind of player, go for it. Your global standing orders are things that all of your ships will do without asking you, and sometimes they will ask you. So default global response to attack, that means if it is a military ship, use their own judgment. If they think they are better, they will shoot back. If they are outgunned, they will run away. And that is all military ships. Default response to found and abandoned ship. Military, you're going to ignore it. That's up to you if you want to claim it if possible, or mark it with a nav beacon, or protect it. Basically, stop what they're doing, fly around it, and wait for you to come and claim it. That is entirely possible. Lockboxes are floating out in the wild blue yonder. You can find them, come across them. There are locks on them that you must shoot very carefully, because if you hit the lockbox, it will explode. But if you can shoot the locks off of it, then you can get all the goodies inside. So if a military ship finds a lockbox, they will, by default, ignore it. If you want them to try to collect it, keeping in mind that a carrier is a military ship, it may have 20 cannons on it, and they're not really smart on being precise. They will probably destroy it, so you can ignore it or wait for your command. Response to pirate harassment. So if a pirate says, hey, drop the cargo, then military ships will turn around and fire right back at them. That's a good default response. So finding contraband. There are things that certain factions do not want in their space, and their police are actively scanning all cargo holds to try to find. If any of this contraband is floating out in the wild blue yonder, you want your military ships to pick them up and possibly be scanned by the police and labeled as a smuggler. You can do that. They can destroy the drop crates and help out the local factions, or just ignore them. They'll pass them by, not do a thing. Police interdiction is when your ships are scanned and they say, hey, stop for a scan. Military ships will comply. That means let the police scan you. You're not carrying anything untoward. But if you want to escape and deploy laser towers because you know you're going to be a smuggler, or try to escape, or wait for your orders, you can do that, or just turn around and attack them. As soon as a police officer tries to scan them, they get blasted. That is completely up to you. Universal preferred build method. I keep that on. Default setting for automatic resupply, I keep that off. I really don't touch any of these. Default setting for ship and weapon turret behavior I have on defend, because your mining ships and your trading ships might also have turrets as well. You can set this by ship, but if you want like even your mining ships to attack an enemy as soon as they see it, you can have your turrets do that, but I would keep that on defend. Your ships will wait for you before undocking if you are on the same ship or station. This is marooning protection. One thing that you might do is have a pilot and you tell them, hey, take this ship, fly it somewhere else, but that is your ship. You are on this station. If this is unchecked, they'll say, yep, right away, and take off and leave you. If you do not have teleport technology, you'll have to call that ship back and land to pick you up, or you will be stranded on this station. Your current ship will wait for you when the relief pilot takes over. So that is, you get up, the ship won't move until that pilot is in the seat ready to go. Notifications, these are things that pop up in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen if you want to know. So if someone is under attack, out of ammo, or they've been caught smuggling. Crew notifications if they're awaiting orders. This means if a pilot was told to fly somewhere just to a position, they reach that position, there's no new orders, they will let you know, hey, I'm done. Order could not be completed. This could be they got there too late, say the station was destroyed on the way, they just could not do the job that you told them to do. Trading successful, this will usually let you know that the trade was completed, tell you how much money they got, and any reputation boost. So it's handy to keep an eye on your funds. Starting the where transfer is transfer between two ships. It's up to you. So ticker, that is the bottom left-hand corner. If you receive a payment, if someone withdraws, so traders will withdraw personal funds from you to make trades. Reputation gain and loss, so you can keep an idea of how you stand with a faction. Lost reputation temporarily. So if you accidentally shoot a police officer or something of a faction you're friendly with, you'll get a lost reputation temporarily. That one ship will be irked, but if you run away and give them some time, they'll forget about you. Discount unlocked, commission unlocked. Certain scanning, certain stations can give you discounts or commissions. They will want you to bring a certain good at a higher price. So that lets you know when you have done that. If any of your ships are destroyed, it will be in red, and you will be told the location of where that ship was destroyed and who destroyed it. Station destroyed, obviously pretty important. If you have a shipyard that is under attack and modules of it get destroyed, you're going to want to know. Reporting on successful trade, just letting you know, and these little tutorials will pop up. Report on successful trades will let you know when a trader is done, so handy if you only give a trader one trading action to do, and you're like, hey, I want to know when that trader is done so I can look for the next good deal myself. All trade operations completed, so if you set multiple trades to do, and they complete. Ship return from a venture. Ventures was a thing when X4 first came out, that you could send a ship into sort of a mock cloud. Essentially, that ship will disappear from your universe. It will complete a trade in another player's game in the background and then come back with that money. Not really a feature these days. Caught trading with illegal wares is self-explanatory. Illegal station plot detected by police. So station plots are paid to the owner of the sector. So if we were to place tried to place a new plot here, and then create a new plot. See how this has a cost? 89,600 credits to place this plot down in Argon space. We have the option of just continuing, not buying that license. But if a police officer sees that, they will destroy that build plot and basically, dock you and say, hey, this is illegal. You didn't pay for that license. If you have your own space, it's free. If you're building in enemy territory, of course, you're not going to pay them anything. Feel free to build. Just know that those enemies are going to actively haunt your station. So if you are building in enemy territory, send your navy to protect that area, and you can build in enemy territory. Account management. So once you have stations, the stations will ask for a certain amount of money based on what they're buying and selling to stay afloat. You can accept all estimates. That money will come out of your account, go to that station manager, and that station will use that money given to them for buying, selling, trading, and all profits to that station will also go in there. So if that cost is, or if that money in the bank is higher than their estimate, when you accept all estimates, the excess will go into your account as your own liquid cash. Next is personnel management. As you hire people, you will see their name, where they are currently working, what their role is, and what their skill is in that particular thing. Once we hire a pilot, that will appear a lot better. Messages are emails that you will get as you play. So we can see special ownerless ships. Because I own timelines, these ships are now available for us to try to get. They are ownerless. They are ready to be claimed. So if you are so bold, you could go out and find these. Collaborative Expedition Notice. Alliance of the Word. So this is part of the Kingdom End DLC. We could set the guidance for that. We can sort of see what this guy wants as a mission. Low priority messages are, you know, mails that come to you that aren't part of a task. It's lore. It's, hey, you know, this faction was destroyed, or hey, because of the actions of the player, this is going on, that sort of thing. Transaction logs. If you want to see all buying and selling that your entire company is doing, this will be a nice bar graph for you to see profits and deficits. And the logbook. So anything that's going on between factions, you can see the Antigone Republic is mounting defenses in second to contact to Flashpoint. So there's a war going on, and we're notified, hey, some of our buddies might be in combat right now. We can go help them out if we want. Also, trades are here. If ships are destroyed, that's here. Anything that happens in the universe that you know about will be in this logbook. So the Dock Interactions tab will allow you to basically pull up the menu that you get when you sit down in the pilot's seat. I really don't use that. The Encyclopedia. If you ever need to look up anything, this is the greatest place to do it. So say you're looking at a map and you say, ooh, an engineer Cerberus Vanguard. That looks interesting. What can it do? All you do is head to the encyclopedia. You can type in Cerber ships, combat ships, fighters and support. There's the Cerberus Vanguard. So we get an image of it. We can see, you know, known components. So as a new player, we don't know what exactly it can do, but we can see it's got 17,000 hull points. It, you know, weighs 34 tons. Storage types, it's a container type. It can hold 12 drones. It has a small dock. So yes, a smaller ship can dock on top of this. And in order to build, this is what it takes to build if you had your own shipyard. 909 hull parts, 172 energy cells can build just the chassis of this without all the engines, thrusters, guns, just the shell, essentially. So we see that the Antigone Republic was, you know, mounting a defense. Well, we can go into the factions, see all the factions that we know about, and see who they're at war with and who they really don't like. So this can help if you're trying to shape or help out a friend. Well, who are the enemies of the Antigone? I want to help them out. There you go. If we destroy Vigor Syndicate, Scale Plate Pact, and Holy Order of Pontifex ships, they will really appreciate that. And of course, Xenon, la-di-da-di everybody hates the Xenon. If we look at them, they are at war with everybody. They don't care. So the next tab in the encyclopedia is the timeline. Now mine is going to be full because in my main game, I have gone out and gotten all of the data vaults to uncover all of these. I'll show you how to get into a data vault because they're also very profitable, a couple 100,000 credits in each. So they're good to go out and search for, even if you don't care about how did we get here as a species. If you wanted to do a straight up ship comparison, you can add a ship that you know of. So say you're shopping for a combat fighter and you're like, hey, I want to know what a fully fledged Eclipse Vanguard can do. Versus, say, add a ship, a small, the Quasar Vanguard is another heavy fighter. So if we give it its high preset, now you can look and see where one fighter is better over another. So the Eclipse Vanguard has nearly twice the hull. It has twice the shields. It has twice the shield recharge rate. Well, where does the Quasar come into play? Its turning rate, its travel speed just by 100. Boost speed by 100, just in space speed by 10, and it doesn't hold as much. It holds the same amount of crew. I mean, so you can look and see very quickly, well, I'd rather have an Eclipse Vanguard over a Quasar any day. So this can sort of help you see your purchases before you make them to see what ship is worth it in the long run. Your tutorials are over here. So if you just want to look up real quick how to do something, that is this question mark here. So that is a lot of information about the menus. Like I said, it's mainly for players who are trying to think, well, crap, I want my ships to all run away. Where was that global orders thing? Well, there you go. So this playlist was just menus. Next time we are going to fly with some basic flight controls in our Eclipse here. So I will see you then.